Thoughts are racing, spinning fast. Ideas flow, but never last. Waves of wonder, thoughts untamed. Nothing ever stays the same. Rambling on, no straight lines. Welcome to my busy mind. Questions, answers, here they go. Digging deeper, let's start the show.
Hello and welcome to Ramblings of a Busy Mind. And you can see on my face I'm already in tears for laughing because I have my guest Donna Mintz here and we started rolling already to the point that I can't even introduce her correctly, so she has to do that herself.
Yes, we started with a laugh with a couple of them. Hi, I am Donna Mintz. I am a certified integrative health coach, and I am the owner of Donna J Wellness. I help people lose weight without cutting, counting, weighing, measuring, tracking, beating themselves up because they screwed up, telling themselves they're failures because they gained the weight back. I teach people how to create healthy lifestyles that make them just feel really good and have energy and sleep well. And I do it without cutting calories or dieting. I've never told a client you can't eat that. That's my claim to fame.
I guess I need you right now after having family here for so long. And all of us cook, and the worst habit that my family has, or my brother has, let's say this way, is eating very late. So usually meals are around 8, 9 o'clock at night,
Oh,
which is
right.
not my time. I try to eat around 6 or 7, and then I'm fine. I might snack at night, but I'm also a late breakfast eater, so everything got pushed so far back in the day that sleep was not really well because there was like too much in my tummy. And
Yeah,
reflux
yeah.
didn't like it either.
Yeah. When we eat too late before, too close to going to bed, our bodies don't rest. Like our body, actually, sleep is so much more than just rest. It's recovery, it's regeneration, but when your body's digesting, it doesn't get to regenerate and do what it needs to do. That's why we don't sleep well and we wake up tired and we drag.
Yeah, it's totally sluggish, and then
Yeah.
it's again he eats food that I don't eat, and then you accompany family, you try to do what they do, and it's not helping.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to accommodate.
Yeah, and you put yourself last again. That's
Yes.
the worst part,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We
So
do, unfortunately.
do you have clients that have burnout and that live in burnout, where you see patterns in their eating habits? Like I know I have patterns when I'm stressed, but do you see that in your office?
I do. I absolutely do. We don't know that we're stressed. I often say to people, how do you feel? Oh, I feel okay. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? Are you sleeping well? No. Um, do you have brain fog? Well, yeah. Um, do you feel bloated? Do you have fatigue? And it's usually somewhere along the lines, it's, well, yeah. And I always say, well, that's not normal. Like, this is your body telling you it needs something. I don't specifically use the word burnout because burnout is it can be very specific to what we think. Well, actually, we think burnout is very specific. It could be like to work, but it doesn't always have to be. It's just very overdoing. We're always overdoing and we're always doing for other people, and we put ourselves last, what we were just saying. So it's hard for people to understand that what your body is feeling is not normal. We've made it normal. We've allowed it to be normal and thinking, oh, it's just my age. I'm tired. I'm working too much, but it's not okay.
I know my body these days so well that I know when I go, like the adrenal fatigue comes in, the shower cannot be hot enough. Like I have to turn my shower on full blast on hot. and still feel cold. In my worst times when I had the adrenal fatigue, I could pull eggs out of the boiling water. So that's the first sign for me that I'm going back into adrenal fatigue. The other one is the sugar intake. And I tend to drink more coffee when I'm already adrenal fatigued, which is totally stupid because it creates exactly what you don't want. But when I'm fairly balanced, I don't drink coffee at all. Or maybe just when I go out because I don't like town water. But it's really interesting when you start paying attention to those little signs, how
Yes.
all of a sudden salt intake was another one. Like I couldn't taste salt for the burst of me. Like, yeah. But I know my body these days, and I know when I start craving certain foods and only eating certain foods, then I'm actually already almost in there. So I have to switch very fast and make rest and take time for myself, which is not always possible because you're on a conference or you're out with other people and you're trying to find the easier solutions for you, which are not always available. So, do you have a guide for your clients to substitute food sources, or what does that look?
I I do not. What I do is I work specifically with the client. Not everybody has the same symptoms, the same issues.
Mhm.
So I gear my one-on-one coaching to really what the client needs. So no, I don't put together a list of anything for anybody. I don't think we're all created different. What one person may need more salt, one person needs less salt, one person needs more carbs, one person needs less carbs, one person, you just never know. So I really work with the client to get to the root of what they specifically need.
And
And sometimes it has nothing to do with food. Sometimes it's like you need to slow down and take care of yourself. You are very lucky that you are intuitive enough to understand what your body is going through. It's because of what I believe. It's because of what you do for a living. You help people do this. The regular average person that does not do what we do is not that intuitive. They don't know they're supposed to listen.
they're not connected with their physical being. That's the biggest part that
Exactly.
I find in my clients and the people that I talk to. As soon as you are in that overwhelm and stress phase, you're all in your head. You're never in your body. You're always just up here, and your body keeps you in that box that's not really keeping you safe, even though it thinks it keeps you safe. It actually hinders you in evolving in a healthier way and changing to a balanced life. But you are stuck in that box and that thinking that head knows best. No, it doesn't. Body knows best. Because your body takes on all the information that's around you, everything that's there, and gives it back as intuition
Mhm.
or gut feeling. And your gut has more brain cells as your, yeah, brain cells basically as your brain, and still be negated. It's so frustrating when you talk to people and say, "Oh, I follow this and this person." I said, "Yeah, but have you ever thought about that it might not be the right thing for you?" It's not that I wanna say that specialists or mentors like me know everything. We don't. We have an idea and we can share the idea, but you as a person have to go and really make it yours and really play with it and see what does it do in your own body. And if it doesn't feel right, then it's not right for you because it's not resonating. I had one person say, because we were using or we are using sometimes lasers with frequencies, so it's a scalar laser and has programmed frequencies. And for one of the tools that we have, there was no instructions. So the question was, what setting do I use for whom? And all he said, well, you use the setting that makes you smile. It's so simple. If you listen to your body, anything that makes you feel well, that makes you
Right.
smile, that makes you happy, that brings a shine to your eyes, is what you need, right? It's not what and it's so funny because I had that with somebody else yesterday about the sour taste. Like I walked into a situation and it left a sour taste in my mouth. that's a typical saying that your senses and your body tells you what's going on, and we're just negating it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
interesting.
I agree. I agree. It is very interesting. Your body knows intuitively what it needs, and not just in food or, but around you in our lives, the connections that we make. It tells you that gut feeling is a thing. Like it's really a thing, and we should listen to it more.
It's not just gut, it's also heart. So whenever like
Mm.
I often say it makes my heart overflow, or it opens my heart. And um but I mean that literally, the feeling of my heart is bursting out of my chest. It's like that warm feeling, that happy feeling, and it's so great to receive something like that. And
Mhm.
again, it's negated. It's like, yeah, don't. The other thing is, if you meet somebody and you have that feeling in your heart, or in like that you feel close to that person, you're resonating with that person. That's a good person to have around. If you have the feeling that it churns your gut, yeah, don't be with that person. If you start listening to that, automatically your circle of friends changes. That's what I found. Like the people that come in my life and the people that I let in my life and have in my life is quite different than before. And some of them just fade out of there. Some are there forever, and others are just they just disappear all of a sudden. It's not that I kicked them out or whatever. It's just there's no connection all of a sudden. Right? It's not, yeah, you have
Right.
to meet with these and that and here and there, and you have to cater to them. No, it's oh, they're here. Okay, fine.
We evolve as humans.
Yeah.
People come in and out of our lives as we evolve. Some are here for a season, some are here for an extended period of time. We intuitively know what we need in our lives, in our bodies.
Yeah. Do you have people that you work with in your sessions, like when you have a client that you feel they need somebody else? So do you have like connected therapists, mentors, whatever that you would then recommend, or
Of
are you,
course.
yeah? Because I find
I don't
I do that quite often because I feel some things that I cannot deal with. I'd rather hand them to
exactly.
somebody else that is more profound in that area and that might be a good fit. Um, because I know that some people have the how you say that, the attitude of I do everything, I can that, and I find we need to be supportive, and we need to be a community. We cannot be just one. And healing is always the person itself. It's not us doing the healing, it's providing the circumstances. But for the most part, they have to do the work themselves.
So I don't know everything.
No.
I am in my lane. I'm a certified integrative health coach. I have a background as a personal chef, as a personal trainer, and in functional nutrition. I speak to those things. I know these things like the back of my hand. I use them for my own health, my own life. I also teach people how to do intermittent fasting the right way, which is a lifestyle that I have been living for the last about 4 years. I don't know everything. I have people in my back pocket that I have relationships with that I trust that I will absolutely recommend to somebody that I cannot help. I think it's extremely narcissistic for me to think I know everything.
Yeah.
Like nobody knows everything.
The ego is loud in such people. I know. It's like when somebody comes to you and says, "I heal you," that's somebody I look at cautiously. I watch the speech, I watch the
Yeah.
behavior, I watch the even like the body language of them is quite interesting. It's
Yeah.
not,
I absolutely agree. I I don't even listen to doctors like that. I have proven doctors wrong. I have healed my body with food and cooking and movement and intermittent fasting when my doctor told me you can't heal that. Like, no, I absolutely disagree. And you don't know everything. So I found another doctor, a functional medicine doctor who I trust, but I also do my own research. Like, I don't, and I think I believe everybody should. I tell my clients all the time, I'm going to give you information. We're going to talk about things that I feel you should implement. But the bottom line is do your research. You still have free will. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. I don't say you should do it because I said you should do it.
I think that's one of the most interesting parts is that people want to be healthy, supposedly, but they don't want to work for it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we've been taught by the diet industry, well, two things. First is that skinny is healthy, which it is not, and that we can have a quick fix.
No.
And it's all better. None of that is true. So people we actually, if you want to change, you need to change. What's the definition of, oh my gosh, keep doing the same thing over and over and over? I was saying it yesterday, laughing about it with a friend. Insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different outcome.
I love that. Yeah, but it's true. Yeah, you are completely in denial of it's not changing. And I also find it interesting because people shy away from challenges. And when you look at it, we don't have problems per se. We have challenges and we have the opportunity to overcome them and grow with them instead of being stuck in a problem and not moving forward. And then when you start changing the language, all of a sudden becomes things that have been so important become not important anymore, right? That's what I found in my life. I decided to be happy and I choose happy every day in my life. Do I have bad days? Yes, absolutely. But I still find the tiny things that make me happy and I'm not looking for that big, like the big money fall or that super duper boyfriend that's not in my life, whatever you want to call it. I'm not looking for perfect. I look for good. I look for fun. I look for happy. Yeah, anything that makes my eyes sparkle and not something that's supposedly what it's supposed to be, right? Yeah, no, it's interesting when you start looking into those things.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I don't believe happiness is found out there. Happiness is found in here. So I love that. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and she said, I wake up every morning and I look in the mirror and I say, good morning, girl. You're going to have an amazing day. And I was like, that's awesome. Like, what a way to start the day with that. Telling you're going to have an awesome day. Well, yay, you. It just sets the day up right.
Yeah, did you ever do the exercise and smiling at 10 people that you don't know while you're walking down the street?
No, but I'm from New York and that can be dangerous.
No, it's fun. It's when you start out, it's like, holy crap, what am I doing here? They're all gonna think I'm crazy. But all of a sudden it becomes natural and all of a sudden everybody, as soon as you switch to natural and not worrying about it, everybody smiles back. And I have a license plate in the front. Nova Scotia doesn't have to have the license plate like the regular one in the front. So I have a plate in the front that says smile, be happy. It's that simple. And I constantly keep forgetting about it, that it's there. And people walk towards my car and they point and and I'm like, what do they want from me?
Oh.
It's so funny. And then I go like, yeah, I have the sign and they just appreciate it. And it's because for me it's so normal, but for them it's like, yeah, it's a good reminder. But yeah, it's like if you can't laugh in your life, you're missing out.
I agree. You have to enjoy life. It's a choice. You can wake up every day and make a choice. You could be miserable,
Yep.
or you could be happy. It's a choice that we can make every single day that we wake up.
And the fun part is when you choose happy, you're already choosing healthier. You're already choosing more
Yes.
balanced because all of those things bring resonance wise, bring happiness,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's so interconnected. Everything is energetically intermingling, and we always just look at one point here and one point there, and that's it. And instead of seeing, okay, even if I just see that little bit here, the bigger picture's behind me, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I like the I like that we switched in my studies. When I started studying for my master's, it was complementary and alternative health. No, medicine actually. And they renamed mine now to complementary integral health, which I like way better because I think it needs a team. It doesn't just need one person to fix you or to help you, to assist you in fixing yourself, basically, because they can't fix you. But if you have a team, you have way more information, you have way more input that you can use and sort through and see what works and what not. And I'm lucky that I had a team like a reflexologist, my naturopath, and a nutritionist at the same time working with me. And I shared with my naturopath, and my naturopath then would go and see what needs to be adjusted. And COVID, unfortunately, put us all a little bit apart. But and if I were to go, I have to go for anything major that I need support with, I would always look for a team and not just for one person.
Yeah. I agree. I love I love my acupuncturist and my massage therapist, and I believe that we need to surround ourselves with alternative. I don't want to say alternative people within the alternative medicine universe, because we're looking at mind, body, spirit. It's not all always, well, it shouldn't be. Unfortunately, for the most part, in my country, it is. Give me a pill.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a pill. And then when I have side effects from that pill, give me another pill.
Mm-hmm.
And when I have side effects from that, give me another pill.
Mm-hmm.
So, for myself, and I talk to my clients about it, there are other modalities that can be very helpful. You have to be open minded enough to want to try them.
And I that's why I like the complementary world instead of the alternative because coming from a family of my father was a veterinarian, my mom was a sales rep for pharmaceuticals. So I've lived the world. My father already installed the complementary because he used homeopathics for the most part.
Oh,
Um,
awesome.
and that's like 50 years back already, right? And it was so interesting growing up because I had like we got the same products like our pets got. In the homeopathic, there's no difference. And
Mm-hmm.
I had a cat when I was older. When I moved here, I had a cat, and she would have gastritis, so she would get a puking fit basically about 3 times a year, and nothing would help. And that cat didn't have much weight anyway, but it weighed even less in that time, and she would be cold, like there was no temperature to her anymore. She would just be freezing, like as the whole system would shut down. That's what it felt like, and you couldn't touch her. And then I used to give her Nux vomica, which is a product that I knew from my father when you are nauseated or vomiting. And I gave that to her. I just diluted the capsules and I just put it in her mouth. And 2 minutes later, the cat came warm and wanted to be petted. So tell me there is a placebo effect in that, right? I can tell my
That's
cat, listen,
amazing.
you're getting a capsule or a tablet or whatever. And yeah, and that's why I was lucky enough to see both worlds, and I see that there's a need for both worlds. But I think that everything that's chronic and that's ongoing, there's an emotional component that's not taken care of by the pills or by the surgery. And if you don't remove that, and these days it's been proven that memory is stored not just in your brain, but in every cell in your body. If you don't remove that memory or the emotion that's connected to that memory, the body will always remember and come back to that situation and bring you back into pain or habits or patterns that are not resolved, right? And that's where it's complementary is the way to go, where you have for anything that's right now and acute and needs to be done right now, modern medicine is definitely the way to go. But anything that's long term, you might want to look into the complementary world. And if you combine both of them, we had colleagues out of therapeutic touch training that I took. One of my colleagues, his wife was arthritis bound, really, really bad. Like she would take 3 of the strongest arthritis pills that you can, painkillers that you could get in Canada legally by the doctor, and just to be getting out of bed. And he would start training treatments with her in the morning, and within a short time she was able to get out of bed, and she would just need 1 a day, right? So it's not taking the modern medicine out, but it's improving both of it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I
agree.
It's very interesting.
I agree. I think there are opportunities for them to complement each other. But that being said, I still think we rely too much on the drugs for every little thing. I recently went to the doctor and was told I had a lung thing, like a virus. And immediately everybody was saying to me, "Oh, so you got antibiotic?" And I'm like, "No, it's a virus." Antibiotics kill bacteria. Oh, so we're always expecting the pill. You have something, you take a pill, but it's not always that way. So what was really shocking to me was he gave me a list of vitamins, vitamin C, zinc, a bunch of, and people were like, "Wait, what?" And this was the walk-in clinic. And I was pleasantly surprised. Because I really expected him to want to give me a prescription that I would not fill.
No, it's like it's interesting because I work with sound and tuning forks, so I had surgery on my like I got implants on my jaw, and I think I took 1 or 2 of my very over the counter 2 milligrams ibuprofen instead of the 600 milligrams that he prescribed. And I took, I think, twice in the whole procedure, like just the first day and then maybe 1 on the next day. But the interesting part was that I worked with the tuning forks here, and I actually increased my bone growth so much that it overgrew the implant.
Wow.
Just with the tuning forks here, right? And I find even like any procedure, if I do therapeutic touch, I get no swelling, I get no bruises, but it's I've learned it, right? So that's not that somebody that doesn't know it. It's just people are still so reluctant to listen, and then they keep forgetting about it, and instead of just try it and see what it does for you, and just stick to it for a little bit instead of taking the painkillers and whatever.
Right. But unfortunately, we don't. Unfortunately, we believe doctors are gods, and whatever your doctor says is the right thing. And people like you and me are kind of pushed to the side from the mainstream. And you know what? Honestly, I'm okay with that. I have no problem. Somebody who doesn't believe in what I do, that food can heal and intermittent fasting can heal. Not everybody. I don't use intermittent fasting for everybody, just people who are healthy enough and open-minded enough for it. But those aren't my people. Those aren't my clients. I know what I do. I know I'm really good at it. I have plenty of people who have had success. I don't need to convince somebody that what I do is a good thing.
No, and that's the wrong way, because if you start to convince somebody again, you're going from ego and not from you're there to support. Instead, then you become the person who
Right.
pulls them in and forces them. And that's one principle that I learned in therapeutic touch, is that um I do my best and then I step away, and I'm healing is their part, so I step away from outcome. And
Right.
I try my best to support you, but if you're not willing to put the work in, then there is
Right.
no, like, yes, I can make the money, but does it make me happy? No, not really, because I want you to succeed. Right?
I always say to people, I have the information and I know it's going to help you, whatever, fill in the blank, lose weight, control your insulin, get off the diabetes medication, feel better, less brain fog, whatever fill in the blank is. But you're the one who has to do the work. I have the information. I've done my work.
Yeah.
I've done it. Many people have, but I have the information for you, but you have to do the work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a journey. And I was lucky that every time I took a new modality, it was when I was at my worst. So I started my Ayurvedic training 3 days after I had a blood pressure of 140 over 120. And yeah,
Wow.
I was working at Siemens at that time, and I went to the company doctor because I was not feeling well, and the company doctor said, "Well, I give you 3 more days, and if it doesn't come down, I'll send you to the hospital." Well, it was the 3 days of year end. That's why he didn't send me to the hospital right away. So, and then my journey started, and I learned about the singing bowls, which became my biggest way out of the burnout, because I finally could be me without having all those thoughts, and learning that thoughts can come in, but they can go. I don't have to hold on to them. And from there, one after the other came, but it was a 20-year journey. It's not happened. It didn't happen yesterday. I started my Ayurvedic training in 2003 before I moved, and I moved in 2006. Yeah. And it
Yeah.
was just one step after the other, and some were days where I went back into not just days, weeks, months, that I went back into burnout. And sometimes happens these days too, when there's too much stress. But these days I recover faster, and I realize faster that something's going on, and I'm not stuck in the quagmire for another year or 2 years
Right.
or 3 years, that I'm barely living, more surviving with brain fog, and like worst times driving 80 kilometers without knowing how I got from work to home. You arrive
It's
home and you go
dangerous.
like, "Oh, did I just drive? How did I go home?" Right?
Wow.
Yeah. And that's where people don't see that that's not normal. I'm lucky that
No.
nothing happened in that
Yeah,
time.
I agree.
Yeah. So if somebody were to come and wanted to contact you, we're gonna put your information in, and you then can take them on and make them better, or help them get better. Let's say it this way, not make them better, because we don't make people.
Guide them.
Exactly. We're
I
supportive.
have the information.
Um, do you have any tip for people who are stressed or in burnout, food wise or habit wise, what they can do to support them better?
Sure. Oh, great question. One that most people don't understand. So I'll go with the food, because what we don't understand is that when we're stressed, we crave sugar, and sugar just puts us in the cycle. We feel good because it's sparking our dopamine, and it makes us feel good, but that doesn't last, and then we feel bad again, and then we crave sugar. So we get into these cycles. So if we can try to break that cycle, or by changing whatever it is, it's whatever the habit is. You're stressed at work, you're sitting in front of your computer, you're going to go to your drawer and grab the candy bar, and that's going to make you feel better. Well, maybe you shouldn't keep the candy bar in the drawer. If you really need it, make yourself walk across the room for it to the other room. That's a way of breaking a habit.
Mm-hmm.
And as you change these things, then if you're still craving it and you have to move it out. Like you just keep changing the habit, breaking up the motions through the habit. But you have to do it slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do it quickly and just stop buying the chocolate bars, I promise you'll be in the car going to buy chocolate bars. It's just, you have to do it slowly. Stress is, again, it's what we were talking about before. We don't know we're stressed. We have to be able to acknowledge if we're craving sugar, it's usually stress. It's stress and dysregulated insulin. So try to slowly break the habit by changing the pattern of the habit.
Mm-hmm. You said diabetes. Do you do then? Is there? I have a friend who's diabetes 1, and she always tries to find things where she can support her diabetes 1 journey. And
Right.
there's so much. She still thinks, and I'm not saying that it's right. It's her opinion that you can cure diabetes 1 or at least limit the effects to the minimum by food and energetic treatments and whatever. So she's constantly on the search of finding stuff.
Okay. And how is she doing?
So far so good, I'd say.
Okay.
But she
That's
also,
awesome.
when she goes in stress, she starts eating weird stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Exactly.
it's not so easy, like having something like that.
No, it's not. It's autoimmune. I mean, the body is just not doing what it's supposed to do, and I can't even imagine what it's like to have to manage something like that. Um, you know, Sometimes we have to also just recognize what stress is. Your body doesn't know the difference between like being chased by a saber-toothed tiger back in, our ancestors,
Yeah.
or having a fight with your spouse, or, having to get out of the way of a moving car, or having an argument with your boss. Like, we react the same way all the time. It's not, well, this is stress, this kind of stress, so I'm going to react this way. And this is this kind of stress, so I'm going to react this way. No, we have to recognize stress is stress. And if we can find something, I always say there's stress management, and if people are, oh, I don't want to take a bubble bath. And I get that. A bubble bath is not for everybody, but everybody needs to find something that works for them. And not the chocolate that's in the drawer in your desk. Whether it be breath work, whether it be walking, whether it be going to the gym, whether it be listening to music and dancing, like we all have something that makes us feel good.
Yeah. Yeah. I have come to the point that I don't have chocolate bars in my house. But I have dates if I need, and I tend to, when I crave cookies or something like that, I drink some Earl Grey tea with a little milk and a little bit of sugar or maple syrup mostly. Just because I know that's a whole lot of fluid with a little bit of sugar, and it's filling me more than if I would eat the chocolate bar that's not satisfying at all, and then I need to eat a second and third and whatever. Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's interesting again when you start the journey, when you learn the things that work for you and don't work for you. But it's for sure easier if you have somebody who knows to point you in the right direction. Not telling you, like, that's what I do. I don't try to tell you what you have to do, but I try to give you options and other ideas. And I had one person once tell me, and he's a professor. He said, I don't want you to believe me. I want you to take what I tell you and then make it yours. And that's one of the best advices I ever got, because if you look at the material that's out there, not everything works for everybody. and not everybody resonates with everything. So when you start looking at what works for you, you have more opportunities, and instead of going, this person has said this and this is God given. No, it's usually not. Part of it might be, but find that part and find the other part with somebody else or by yourself, right?
Do your own research.
Do your own research and listen to what feels right for you and what not, right?
Yeah.
Get in contact with your body again. Yeah.
Yep.
So thank you.
And if you never were, you have to get into contact with it. Anyway,
Yes.
sorry.
No, it's all good. But thank you so much for that conversation. I love things that happen when we have open discussions instead of fixed questions, because the gamut that we find in a discussion is so much wider than if you go, oh, you're a nutritionist and you do this, and how do you do that? See where we started and what we came to. It's just so neat. And I'm pretty sure I will be in contact with you as soon as I have my stuff here sorted out, to get my journey in with you, because I think I need the kick. I need somebody who pushes from the back.
I have the information. It's up to you to do the work.
Yes, I know.
When you're ready.
Right. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thoughts are racing, spinning fast. Ideas flow, but never last. Waves of wonder, thoughts untamed. Nothing ever stays the same. Rambling on, no straight lines. Welcome to my busy mind. Ideas fade, all the shine. Oh, welcome to my busy mind. Questions, answers, here they go. Digging deep, let's start the show. Questions, answers, here they go. Digging